Hi guys, my name is Melody and welcome to Bookish Girlfriend. Today I'm going to do a book review of the Bargainer series written by Thalassa. So it consists of 4 books: Rhapsodic, A Strange Hymn, Emperor of Evening Stars, and Dark Harmony. So this will be the very first book review that I'm going to do, and Laura herself was actually really supportive about it. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to break it down into a few parts, I guess. So I'm gonna review the entire series instead of individual books. The series starts off with Calypso Lilith, who is not an ordinary girl, but she is a part siren. Yes, those creatures that lure sailors into the sea to drown them. The start of the plot is already very interesting. There's blood on my hands, blood between my toes, blood speckled in my hair. It splashed across my chest, and to my horror, I can taste a few droplets on my lips. That's really captivating, and I just want to keep on reading, like, why does she have so many blood on her? As it turns out, she killed her stepfather. So she finds a card that leads to the Bargainer, who is also known as Desmond Flynn. Des decides to help her out and clean up her mess, but not for free. No, the Bargainer always bargains for a price, for a favor that he might try to collect in the future. Whenever she asks him for a favor, she will collect a bead that will end up forming a bracelet around her wrist. And I'm imagining it's like the bracelet that Buddhist monk wears a lot, you know? She was 16 at the time. She starts to develop a crush on him, and so she calls him back again and again and again. So she ends up having a lot of beads on her bracelet, which are favors that needs to be repaid eventually. But then something happens and he went away, and they were separated for 7 years until he came back again. And as it turns out, Desmond Flynn, the Bargainer, he is also the king of the Night Kingdom in the other world, which is basically a world filled with fairies, and it's a really fantastic world. He comes back after 7 years and tells Callie that he needs her help. There were a lot of female soldiers missing, and when these women are returned, they are just lying idle in a casket. Like, they're not really dead, but they're not really alive. It's like they're in a permanent state of being asleep, and there's a baby with them. It's sort of like a demon baby, so it's really creepy. But these babies, they can prophesy, and they prophesy really bad stuff for both Desmond and Callie. And then men keep disappearing as well. It's all the doing of a guy called the Thief of Souls. So that's basically the gist of the entire story, and I'm not gonna give any spoilers. The entire book itself, it was really great. Like, if I could give a rating to the plot, I would give it a 4.5 out of 5. It's nearly perfect. The first book, Rhapsodic, it was really great. It was so good that I actually started reading really slowly on purpose because I didn't want it to end at all. The second book, A Strange Hymn, that's where the beginning was kind of slow, but that's where the world building comes in, and I know it's really necessary because she learns about the past, about the otherworld kingdom, about Des's kingdom. Then there's the third book, The Emperor of Evening Stars, which actually tells a story from Des's point of view, so it's kind of like an in-between story. And then Dark Harmony, the last book in this entire series. Like, the beginning is just so action-filled. You're just being taken to an adventure immediately as soon as you start reading it. Well, there were some parts where it did get a little sidetracked, and it focused more on the romance and relationship. I know, even though I really love romance and relationship, but I was really excited to read the adventure part as well. So I was kind of hoping that she would speed up with the romance and start the adventure, start to try and solve this case again. When you know that the Thief of Soul is lurking in the other world and it's killing people, it's kidnapping people, the last thing you want to do is like bang each other, you know? But that was kind of what they were doing, so I'm like, could you hurry up a little, get on with it, and just solve the problem again, because people are missing. This story, by the way, it's not young adult, it's fantasy, and there are a lot of adult stuff in it, if you know what I mean. Basically, the entire series, it was really great. My writer mind couldn't help but think, like, Laura has presented this really great case, this plot, this climax, this problem, but how is she going to solve it? What will be the perfect solution that would satisfy a reader's heart? And in the end, in Dark Harmony, I think that she found the best solution possible. It really did satisfy me. I think there is no greater way to end the story. So the writing style. there is one thing that Laura does in the first book that's really brilliant, and I love it so much. So every chapter starts with a flashback of what happened 7 years ago, of the first time when Kelly met Desmond, and then it moves on to the present time of basically their current situation. So as you keep reading, you just start to see the story unfold between both the past and the present, and why things are as they seem. At the beginning of the book, we're presented with a question of why Des had to leave Kelly 7 years ago, and as we keep on reading, we finally get to see the answer, and the answer is really satisfying. Like, it even makes me go, oh, that's really sweet, Des. Her writing style is really simple and clean and really conversational. Like, it's what you would read when you're reading Callie's diary, I guess. But it really has attitude. Throughout reading, you just read a lot of like boom or ooh, burn, like whenever Des or someone says something that's really savage. So that was really fun to read, but it's also really romantic. There are a lot of quotes in between that are great. For the characters, I'm going to give this a 4.95 out of 5. I know it's very specific, but I'll get back to that later. I think Laura has this gift where she writes really compelling and relatable female characters. Like, you know how a lot of YouTubers, booktubers, they have a list of the top 10 worst female characters in fictional novels? Well, with Kelly, I can't find any of those characteristics in her. Well, it's not that she's perfect, but she's so imperfect to the point that she becomes perfect. She's very insecure, but it's not the type where she's really pretty, but then she feels that she's really ugly and that just waking up and looking at herself in a mirror would break the mirror apart. No, she's insecure because she knows that she's different, and therefore she feels that she cannot fit in. And how many of us actually relate to that? Like, I'm pretty sure that a lot of us has that kind of feeling at one point in our life. Des is really good at encouraging her to accept herself. So as a reader, as I'm reading this, it also encourages me to accept myself, to be who I am, you know. So Callie, she's also a real badass, cause as I mentioned before, she's a siren, and being a siren comes with a power. Let me just read what she can do. My skin begins to glow as I let the siren in me surface. Everybody out, my voice is melodious, unearthly, compelling, almost as one the guests stand, their eyes glazed. This is my beautiful, dreadful power, a siren's power, to compel the willing and unwilling to do and believe whatever it is I wish. Glamour. It is illegal, not that I really give a damn. I mean, as a siren, don't you think that power would be so cool? I mean, if I had the power, imagine if I had that power. You watching this video, you will now leave a comment and click on the like and subscribe button right now. Yeah, okay, I don't think I have that power. Please do it though, guys. There was only one part in the book where Callie almost became like the typical female character that I didn't really like. She has the I can save the world attitude, even at the cost of other people, even when others try to protect her. Luckily, it only lasted for a few pages, and after that, she's back to the Callie that I love again. But the reason why I deducted the 0.05 points out of characterization is because she has a best friend called Temper, and Temper is a really great character. She's a great comedy relief, but the problem is that being a best friend of Callie, she calls her using the B word. I'm just not fond of profanities. I would never use it as a term of endearment, and I know that other people might do it, like people actually do it in real life, but I'm not a supporter of that. Lastly, I think since my channel name is Bookish Girlfriend, so it would be appropriate if I actually rate the bookish boyfriend part as well. I actually gave it a question mark out of 5. The reason why I couldn't rate him is because he and Callie are so perfect together. Like, I ship them so much. I don't want to be the person in between. Like, I don't even want to have a bookish crush on him because I want him to be with Callie. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. At the beginning of the series, it's more like this push and pull. Like, Callie wants to love him. She is attracted to him. She desires him. But he's also the guy who left her 7 years ago, so she isn't really sure whether or not to open up her feelings to him. The romance is just such a beautiful story. Des is too perfect. He's wicked, he's violent, but he has that sweet side which he only shows to Kelly, and that itself is just, it really melts my heart. Overall, this book would definitely earn a 5 out of 5, and I would recommend it to anyone who wants to read it, or anyone who doesn't want to read it. You should still read it because it's really good and it's definitely worth your time and money. For fellow readers or fellow fans of Laura Thalassa, let's discuss this book even more in the comment section below if you want, or on her Facebook fan page. So thank you so much guys for watching, and see you next time. Bye.